Good evening. Welcome to the Bulletin at 9 p.m. with the Sentinel. I'm Moinita. And the headlines at this hour. Five Arunachali youths back home. Army coordinates with China for safe return. Assam government announces developmental projects worth 11,900 crore rupees. Big push for education and infrastructure. जब तक दवाई नहीं तब तक ढिलाई नहीं, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi, urges people to stay cautious. Of course, beginning the bulletin with some good news, and in fact, it is a big news. The five youths who had apparently strayed into Chinese territory across Arunachal Pradesh have safely returned back home. The Indian Army took over all the five individuals at Kibitu today after completing all the formalities. That is the tweet from Union Minister Kiren Rijiju after the five Arunachali youths were handed over by China's PLA, the Chinese army, to the Indian Army. Now, the Indian Army played the key role here in getting back all the five individuals safe and sound back home. Now, the five individuals have been quarantined. They will be quarantined for the next 14 days as per the COVID-19 protocol and will be handed over to their families only after the quarantine period is over. This is what the Indian Army informed in a statement released earlier in the day today. The Indian Army had earlier approached the PLA on hotline to trace the youths and get them back home safely. It was on September 8th. A response on the hotline confirmed that the missing individuals has been traced. They were on the on the Chinese side. And important to mention here that this was the third such incident. In fact, twice earlier, Arunachali people had actually entered China, and this happened around the Upper Subansiri and West Siang districts. All the individuals were brought back. They were brought back home safely after the Indian Army coordinated with the Chinese side and got all of them back safely home. This time too, it is the Indian Army who coordinated with the Chinese Army and got all the five youths safely back home. They actually had gone hunting, and the incident happened on September 2nd when they had gone hunting. There were actually seven of them. Five strayed into the Chinese territory, and two of them, they came back home and informed the families. The first reports which came out was that they have been taken by the Chinese army. That is what the two-person who had returned back home said, and that is how the families actually reported the case with the Arunachal police. But now all's well that ends well. They have come back home safe and sound. Of course, there's a lot of good news as far as the people of Assam is concerned. Assam Finance Minister Himanta Biswa Sharma has announced projects worth 11,900 crore rupees. Now, a big push is going to be given by the Assam government as far as the education sector is concerned. A lot of teachers employment has also been announced there, as many as 10,000 recruitments to take place. There are a lot of flyovers coming up across the city of Guwahati as well as other parts of Assam. Law colleges are being set up, and also 9 colleges for women are also being set up over the next few days. Now, here is the detail of what the minister announced today in a press conference. 9 women's colleges, work to begin in the next 45 days. Work to begin on 10 new law colleges. This has already been approved by the government, and the construction work will begin by December 31st. The cost to be incurred is estimated at 33 crore rupees. Several flyovers have been announced. These include the Guwahati Maligaon Charali. This is expected to cost about 420.75 crore rupees. Construction to begin in the next few days. Tejpur's Mission Charali also will have a flyover there at the cost of 320.41 crore rupees. Now, these are some of the flyovers and educational institutes that the minister announced today, which the work for most of these are expected to begin over the next few days. The minister, who is also the state's health minister, announced that cost-free dialysis for kidney patients would now be available across 20 more hospitals. The government is already providing cost-free dialysis to several patients across hospitals in the state. Now, these are some of the significant announcements. Of course, these announcements come ahead of the Assam elections scheduled for next year. Meanwhile, as we continue to report about the deficiency of beds and also some concern being raised as far as the oxygen supply for patients, particularly COVID patients, is concerned in the state and particularly in Guwahati, because Kamrup Metro continues to report the maximum number of COVID positive cases. Now, what the Guwahati Medical College has done today is that they have installed 2 cryogenic oxygen tanks, and each tank has a capacity of 20,000 liters, so a total of 40,000 liters capacity cryogenic oxygen tanks being installed at the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. Now, this will actually ensure uninterrupted supply of oxygen at least for 10 days. And after that, these tanks will need to be refilled. Let's take a look at the visuals there. And also, let's listen in to what Dr. Abhijit Sharma, Superintendent, Guwahati Medical College and Hospital, told us. It's an exclusive from the House of Sentinel.
We have just installed cryogenic oxygen tanks, and those tanks are 20 kiloliters of capacity, and working pressure is about 18 kg per centimeter square. এইখিনি দিয়ে আমি 20,000 লিটার অক্সিজেন পাম। দুটা ট্যাঙ্ক আছে 40,000 লিটার। এই সদ্যহতে আমাৰ 700 বাল্ক চিলিণ্ডাৰ, মানে ডি টাইপ চিলিণ্ডাৰ্ছ আমাৰ ইউজ হয়। উইথ দিছ আমাৰ চিলিণ্ডাৰৰ নিডটো কমি যাব। এই চিলিণ্ডাৰে কোভিড হস্পিটেলত 5 দিন চলিব এই ডাঙৰ টেংকৰ পৰা, আৰু এইখন হস্পিটেলত 7 দিনৰ পৰা 10 দিনলৈ চলিব। আৰু তাৰপিছত দেৰ বি টেংকাৰ্ছ টু ৰিফিল দ্য লিকুইফাইড অক্সিজেন। ইমেন্স হেল্প টু দ্য পিপল for our patients. Our most important thing is যদিও আমাৰ cryogenic tank থাকিব, লগত আমাৰ bulk type cylinders, D type যাক কয় বা B type cylinders, সেই provisionও আগৰ যিখিনি আছে সেইখিনি থাকিব। Through pipe manifoldলৈ যাব, manifoldৰ পৰা pipe লৈ আহিব। 760 cases at present, and bed vacancy is there. It's a dynamic thing. About 30-40 patients get discharged. 20-30 patients are over. ICU also we have increased our capacity. Another 10 more beds are added. COVID hospital 58 ICU. So as of now, we are keeping everything under control. A patient within 12 to 24 hours they are taken off. আমাৰ মৰ্গত ৰাখাত কোভিড পজিটিভ নহয়। ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যনত আমি এতিয়া যদি পেচেণ্ট এটা ঢুকায়, ইমিডিয়েটলি উই ইনফৰ্ম ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন, এণ্ড ইমিডিয়েটলি ডিষ্ট্ৰিক্ট এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন টেক্স দ্য বডি এণ্ড ৰিমুভছ ইট এজ পাৰ গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট প্ৰট'কল, কোভিড প্ৰট'কল।
That was Dr. Abhijit Sharma, the Superintendent of Guwahati Medical College and Hospital. talking about the beds availability for COVID-19 patients, as well as how the government-run hospital is managing the oxygen supply, which has now become extremely essential as the COVID numbers rise. Of course, it is not just the COVID patients who require the oxygen supply. There are these non-COVID patients too, and therefore the two tanks being installed at the Guwahati Medical College and Hospital to ensure uninterrupted supply of oxygen. Now, renowned popular Assamese singer Zubin Garg's father and his wife Garima's parents have tested positive for COVID. They have been shifted to the COVID care center at IIT Guwahati in Amingao, North Guwahati. All the three infected people were actually residing at Zubin Garg's father's residence in Kahilipara area of Guwahati. We really wish them a speedy recovery. Now, moving on to news from the national capital, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has reiterated his appeal to the people to exercise maximum caution to stop further spread of coronavirus. He said, till an effective medicine is not found, there should be no lowering of the guard. Jab tak dawai nahi, tab tak dhilai nahi. Meaning, no carelessness till a medicine is found. The Prime Minister said while addressing the virtual housewarming ceremony of 1.75 lakh houses built in the rural parts of Madhya Pradesh under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Meanwhile, at least 7 Indian pharma companies, including Bharat Biotech, Serum Institute, Zydus Cadila, Panacea Biotech, Indian Immunologicals, Minvax, and Biological E, are working to develop a vaccine against coronavirus. The total number of cases in India now stands at, in fact, it has surged to 46 lakh. These are numbers from this morning after the biggest single day jump of over 97,000 fresh infections which were reported from across India. This is according to government data. Worldwide, over 2.8 crore people have been affected by the pandemic. Now, good news as far as our Delhi airport is concerned. In fact, the international terminal T3 or Terminal 3 of Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport, has now the country's first coronavirus airport testing facility. It was launched just recently. And now this will really be of real comfort for all those international travelers. And in fact, there are several domestic flights too, which operate from this particular terminal, T3 of Delhi Airport. The facility at the Terminal 3 of the airport, which offers a walk-in option, ensures a safe journey of all passengers entering the city or scheduled for domestic connecting flights. Airport operator Delhi International Airport Limited, or DIAL, said in a statement, international passengers traveling without a valid COVID negative certificate can book a slot in advance. The test results are available within 4 to 6 hours. Passengers have been advised to book the slot an hour before. In fact, they should book the slot an hour before the time of arrival and around 4 to 6 hours before the departure of the flight. Passengers will have to provide with the details such as name, contact details, and valid ID proof while applying online for this facility. They will also have an option to modify the slot in case they are not able to reach at the scheduled appointment slot. Besides, passengers belonging to the same family can book a single slot altogether through online. These are the details that DIAL has shared through its media statement. Now, the entire facility is set up across 3,500 square feet area at the multi-level parking of T3, and this is the first such arrangement among Indian airports as COVID numbers rise. Now, moving on to our video section, let's take a look at the condition that some of our popular markets are in. Of course, we are highlighting the plight of the popular Beltola and Ganeshguri markets. These are the markets which has both veg as well as non-veg products, and these are some of the markets which most Guwahati resident frequents. Take a look at the condition. Of course, all Guwahati people are very much familiar of the condition, but we at the Sentinel thought we need to highlight all of these things. Take a look. This is the garbage dump that welcomes you at one of Guwahati's old and famous vegetable and non-veg markets, the Beltola Bazaar. One of the popular markets of the city because of the low prices as well as availability of products. But look at the condition under which people are shopping and vendors are selling food products. The dirt, filth all around.
কথাটো হৈছে কি চাওক আমি ৰেগুলাৰ হৈ ইয়াত বজাৰ কৰিবৰ কাৰণে ঠিক আছে এই ওচৰতে ডাষ্টবিনটো আছে মানে সোনকালে যদি নিয়ে তেতিয়াহ'লে গোন্ধবিলাক নাইকিয়া হৈ যায় আৰু অসুবিধা নহয় তেনেকৈ আমি সদায়তো পাই আছোঁ আৰু ওচৰৰ যিবিলাক ব্যৱসায় আছে তেওঁলোকেও হয়তো ক'ব লাগে অসুবিধাৰ সন্মুখীন হৈছে বুলি তেওঁলোকে কৈ নকয় সেইটো গম নাপাওঁ কিন্তু সকলো অসুবিধা হয় এইটো
চাফা নকৰে কাৰণে থৈ দিয়ে কাৰণে গোটেই গোন্ধাই এৰিয়াত বজাৰ কৰিবলৈ অসুবিধা এটা হয় আৰু নহ'লেও এটা দিগদাৰী এটা আছে আকৌ মানুহে পেলাই দিয়ে কোনোবা জেগাত সেইটো এটা কথা ওচৰৰ মানুহে যে জাবৰটো পেলাই খালে সোনকালে নিষ্কাশন কৰিব লাগে বজাৰটো কৰোঁতেতো হয়েই অসুবিধা মানুহৰ সেইটো সোনকালে চাফা কৰি ফ্ৰিকুৱেণ্টলি চাফা কৰি থাকিলে একো অসুবিধা নহ'ব আৰু
The Guwahati municipal cleaners are cleaning, but a massive cleaning exercise is required. Either the garbage dump needs to be placed somewhere else, or the vendors should be given a proper place to sit.
মানে জাবৰ জোঁথৰ থাকিলে মানুহবিলাক একচুৱেলি গোন্ধতে থাকিব নোৱাৰি এনেই হৈছে কাষ্টমাৰৰ অসুবিধা হয় আমাৰ অসুবিধা হয় মানে চব কাৰণতে প্ৰব্লেম আছে আৰু
অসুবিধা কাষ্টমাৰৰ হয় চবৰে হয় এতিয়া ওচৰতে পৰিছে ওচৰতে থাকে এতিয়া কি কৰিম এতিয়া বেলেগে একো নকয় আমি কি ক'ম আকৌ পাব্লিকৰ অসুবিধা হয় পাব্লিকে মাংস ল'ব আহিলে তেতিয়া অসুবিধা হয় চেন ওলায় গাড়ী আহিলেও চেন ওলায় এতিয়া সেইকাৰণে আঁতৰত আছে কেতিয়াবা আকৌ স্কুল খুলিলে স্কুলৰ পৰা কমপ্লেইন দিলে উঠাই লৈ যায় এতিয়া বৰ্তমান স্কুল বন্ধ আছে কাৰণে ইয়াতে আছে ডাষ্টবিনটো
Now let's shift our focus to another busy vegetable and non-veg market of Guwahati, the Ganeshguri market. Located barely kilometers away from the Dispur Secretariat and just next to the Assembly Building and MLA Hostel, this market is very popular among most Guwahati residents because of its location. But look at the condition of the market. Look at the dirt here. Where is the space for the customer to stand to buy things?
তেতিয়াহ'লে চাফ চিকুণটো হ'লে ভাল জিএমচি মানুহ চাফা কৰিব লাগে বজাৰখনটো এইটোৱে আৰু তেতিয়া বজাৰৰ মানুহ সোমাব লেতেৰা পেতেৰা থাকিলে মানুহ নাহেতো
চাফাটো নহয় ৰেগুলাৰ কেতিয়াবা ৰাস্তা যে আছে তাতে কৰে এতিয়া ভিতৰত নকৰে
অকল ইয়াত মানে কি স্বচ্ছ এইবিলাক কৰি থাকিলেতো নহ'ব নহয় জানো হাতে কামে চবে লাগিব আমি হ'লেও চেষ্টা কৰিব লাগিব ৰাইজে কৰিব লাগিব প্ৰশাসনৰ পৰাও কৰিব লাগিব তেনেকৈ কৰিলে ভাল হয় আৰু
These are markets under the Guwahati Municipal Corporation, and this is the plight they are in. Well, viewers, we really thought that we need to highlight all of these issues, and we would really appreciate if the Guwahati Municipal Corporation, the concerned minister, which is Siddharth Bhattacharya, the Minister of GDD, he also takes notice of the condition our markets are in because it's absolutely not hygienic to see our marketplaces like this and people actually earning their livelihoods in such bad conditions. That's all that I have this evening for all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. News and updates continue in sentinelassam.com. Of course, all our news videos are available across the social platforms of Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Do check out all our videos and do log in to sentinelassam.com for all the news and updates. Thank you once again for joining me this evening. Till we meet again, take care, stay safe, goodbye, and good night.